Welcome back to Foundry, where in the last episode we started to play with oil, or to be more precise it's called olumite in this game, but it's basically the concept of oil. You actually get even crude olumite. So we started to get this crude olumite, we transformed it thanks to the distillation column, or by the way we use a pump jack to get that. We transformed it with the distillation column. We had then two outputs, the liquid polymer and the waste gas. We had to flare the gas, and then we transformed the polymer into polymer boards. We use these polymer boards to make circuit boards and a few other things. So don't hesitate to check in the video description below if you want to see more. But today we're going to continue down this path because I have done the chemical processing over here, which will give us access to 2 new buildings and a new production. The ignore ore rubble will be transformed into ignore powder. And then we're going to use that to make energy cells. This is going to be a pretty complex one, a new recipe for the crude olumite. This is going to create olumite gas and waste gas. So we're going to need to burn one again. Then we're going to transform this gas with the ignore powder I just showed you before and water into oluminic acid. So definitely a fairly complex production chain over here. And lastly, we're going to use this oluminic acid plus a couple of things like the plates, the components, the electronic components, and the glass to make some energy cells. And I don't know if we'll get there, but then obviously we're going to want to use those energy cells for the future. There's actually quite some exciting things we can do with those energy cells. But before we get there, I wanted to show you something new that I've also unlocked thanks to those new production. And this is this big thing here. What is that? Well, first let me show you where it is. It is over here. It's called a drill ship. It takes 200 steel beams, 100 advanced machinery parts, 100 circuit boards, and 20 over engine. So circuit boards and over engine, that's what we've done in the last episode. And then advanced machinery parts and steel beam. It's quite a lot of them. So you may want to automate it with an actual assembler because you're not going to be able to build a lot of them with your inventory, or unless your inventory is empty. But at the same time, you probably won't need that many drill ship. What can you do with the drill ship? Well, first of all, you go inside. You can see there's multiple doors. There's also a way to actually go up if you want to on top of it. But basically, oops, wrong button. Basically, you have a couple of different buttons over here. First, we're gonna need to give some fuel, right? So where's my fuel here? So we put some fuel. You can put different types of fuel, but biomass, that's an easy one. You put some fuel in, then you're gonna choose a distance over here, right? So 10, but you can go a lot more, we can go, let's say 100, for example. Then you're gonna choose if you want to go up, if you want to go forward, or if you want to go down. You cannot go back. And I hope you're starting to understand what's gonna happen when I press this drill button. It's gonna do 100 times what I just said, going up, down, or forward. Now, by the way, it's worth noting that you can actually go up even like this. As you can see over here, there is basically kind of some engine at the bottom. So even if there's nothing above, you can go up. I don't know why. I mean, I guess you can do it if you want to make a hole over here. You first go up and then you go straight. But yeah, basically, the key reason you would want to build this is either probably to go down or to go straight. So in this case, right, for example, creating a tunnel through this mountain, in the past we had to do that a bit manually. Now you can just click on this green button. Obviously, if I click on the red, it's gonna stop. But it is, we are starting to dig, and it's pretty fast, as you can see, right? And most importantly, I don't even need to be there. I can click on the button, leave it go, and we can come back. We'll do that. We'll come back in a couple of minutes and see where this is. We may not have enough fuel, by the way, to do 100. I'm not sure. We'll see. But definitely, this is a lot more efficient than me trying to do it myself. So those drills can be quite useful. Now, where are we going to go? So we know we're going to need some ignum. And we also know we need some olumite. So potentially one is over here, but this is the mountain, so that's not so great. Plus we're also gonna need water, right? So this is perfect, except this may be inside the water, so we're gonna have to check that. But yeah, this sounds great. There's water there, there's ignium here, and the olumite reservoir. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna make a small base. By the way, this could be also useful in the future. Oh, and we even have a base for the, forgot what it's called, but basically taking from the lava cave the thermalite sheet, thermalite bars and transforming them into sheet. So yeah, I think it makes sense to build this over here, and it's not too far from the bus. I mean, at some point we're gonna need to expand the bus basically all the way there. So yeah, let me start this and I'll see you in a few minutes. Quick progress update. So we have arrived over here where we have the alumite reservoir and the ignium ore. The reservoir is actually really nice because it's pretty flat. There is only 2 levels, so it was easy to put multiple of these next to each other in a very flat way. Connect electricity, of course, put also a transformer, not for these guys are on the high voltage, but for the rest, right? For these and all of the other buildings we're gonna put after. We have a tank full of olumite, so ready for, you know, the next step. Why I haven't done the next step is because I can't actually build any distillation columns, so I'm gonna need to go back to the base. But in the meantime, what I've done is I went to look for, you know, the actual ignium. Unfortunately, I found it, you know, over here. So you can see it is basically underwater over here, you know, in let's say a pocket of I don't know if it's actually a pocket of water or not, we'll have to discover, but basically it's not that easy to get there. So what I've done is, you know, let's go a bit back, and I've used one of these, like I mentioned to you before, placed it on the ground. I say go down for 20 feet down, and obviously I was inside, so then I had to put some stairs to go back up. But yeah, I've basically put this here. And now if we do this, you'll see it's in front of me. So that's great. That's great. Now I'm just gonna do manually because I think we're pretty close, and I want to also be careful if I start to see some water. Like, is that water? No, that's fine. But basically, yeah, we're gonna go, you know, front, try to discover this thing without hopefully flooding the whole thing. If we do, we're gonna need to put, you know, some foundations. But I think if I'm not mistaken, the miners actually still work on the water in the latest update. But here it is. We have found, because we are, you know, here there's probably water, but because we're down, we're fine. So we found it. I'm basically going to use now a couple of expansion. Oh, so cool to see all of them. I'm gonna expand it a bit on the side, right? I have enough space for some miners, bring electricity. I think what we're gonna do is probably bring electricity with a pole. But yeah, bring electricity. Or should we have maybe we have a small elevator. Let's do that. We'll build a small elevator, you know, next to that. And I'll see you when that's done. So it is. Let's go back to the mine and show you the progress, and then we'll come back up and I'll show you what else we've done upstairs. We're not finished, but I thought it was good to take a quick check-in. So it is. We have bringing electricity through the elevator, right? Connecting here to a small grid. I don't know which one it is. Over here, couple of crushers, flames. No, wait, that's not. It's this one here. Drone miner, loaders, and loaders. Yes. So yeah, just a couple of miners, right? Loaders into one belt, and then the loader into the elevator. We don't need all of those things there. Can take them back. Can take them back. Sure, we'll use them somewhere else. And we haven't completely covered back, as you can see at the top. Who knows, it could be useful at some point, but yeah, this is done. So pretty simple. We bring the resources back up and we're going to start transforming them. This is a completely new production that I just mentioned before. So let's look at it. Here it is. Oh, that is dangerous. We could fall. We could fall. So this is the elevator. Now we have an output. We have one storage, input, output. So it comes in, comes out right away, but at least that way we create a buffer, right? of this ignum. And then, yeah, it's going into all of those crushers. Those crushers are transforming it into ignum powder. It's 12 to 60. So that is why I've put 5 of these, because basically 5 times 60, that's 300. So this is basically one of these belts, right? One of these belts is 320. So yeah, going all the way here and then going into the storage so that we can use it in the future. And the reason I made it this way is if I want to expand in the future, that's easy. We just add more over here. Even if, as I said, we either need to upgrade this belt or just create another belt, right? That's really fine, but at least we don't have to rework anything. And then on the other side, we have also made progress. And we stopped over here before. Now we have the pipe that goes into all of these guys to transform. So this is a new recipe, right? We're going to transform the alumite into alumite gas and waste gas. So 2 outputs. Let me show you from the other side. We have one output here at the top and another one on the side. So this one I'm actually bringing down. This is this one here, bringing down, and this is the actual useful stuff. So it's gonna go into this tank storage here, alumite gas. Versus the one at the top is the gas, not that useful. We keep it here at the top, and then it goes into this burner. Remember, this can burn 3000 liters per minute. So actually this is definitely enough for many of these, because look at this, we're actually only making 150 per minute. So one will be enough. This one is 1350, so it's quite a big production, but again, it's built in a way that it's easy to expand. Right? If I have any of them, is it this one? No. Yes, maybe it's no, it's not this one. But anyway, I can just add another one here, another one there, more. I will just expand this pipe here, expand that pipe there to connect, and expand the one at the bottom. So it is really modular, right? That's what I'm trying to do as much as possible. So we have this gas and we have this powder. What else do we need? If we go back here to this, because our goal is here, sorry. Our goal is to make alumic acid. So this is the powder and the gas, but also some water. Good thing we are close to water, right? Just over here. So this is what we're gonna do. But again, in the idea of keeping it easy to expand, if I expand these ones here, I shouldn't put the water over here. So instead, we're gonna put the water there, right? The water, basically goes here, it will go up, we'll put a tank here to store, and that means we're gonna have 3, I could even put the water tank over here next to that one to make it, kind of a line. But basically we're gonna have 1, the water, and 3 inputs, and then we're gonna move them into here. Into what? Into, as we said, alumic acid, which is making chemical processor. So it's gonna be built over there, and we're gonna do probably again the same kind of idea of it's easy to expand, which means we're gonna want the output to actually be over here. And then that means we can send the output this side towards the bus. Now we will have, though, to expand the bus quite a lot if we want to get basically all the way here. I could potentially also bring the pipe, right? I could say, let's bring the pipe from here and bring it there. Maybe I'm gonna do that actually, because I want to try to keep my bus as compact as possible, not waste too much. So I think we'll do that. Also because I don't see a lot of other resources here, and we already have that here. But if I just follow this line there, should be fine. What is that? Oh, geothermal vent. Okay, so this is something new too. But yeah, we're gonna go here, go there, and should be fine. Okay, let me work on this and I'll see you in a minute. And it's getting more complex, ladies and gents. So let me show you. We start with water over here. I know it's overkill, it's not perfectly at equilibrium, meaning I'm producing more of some things than others, but I like to see two. I feel like this is better to see two of them. So 2 pumps of water going into this tank, so we know we have water in the tank. So as I said, we're gonna bring this water, we're gonna bring this powder here, and we also need to bring the gas that we made just before here, right? The olimite gas. We're gonna bring those 3 things into these new chemical plants with this recipe over here. So we have the solid obviously at the bottom there, and then we have the 2 liquids at the top. You can see one on top of each other. One can go straight, one just loops a bit on it if you wish. And in the back, you're gonna have the output. Always remember, it tells you which one is. It's not like you can use any of these. It's this one in this case. So yeah, we're just connecting it straight. And as always, easy to expand. I can just add another building there, another one here, etc., etc. Just expand these ones, expand this, and then this goes into a tank too, as always, right? So we can kind of make sure we have some reserves. And yeah, this is moving. And this is being sent very far. So I build this pipeline over here, all the way back into our bus. So we're gonna follow it together quickly. This was, and I put some foundation just to help us walk around it. It's not like it's needed because there is not really electricity over here, except that this is so long, I actually needed to put one of these. Remember, expand the complexity. You can click V, click on your pipe, and you'll see complexity of 300. And yeah, there's quite a few objects. So anyway, continues, and then I basically turn around when I knew I was where the last production were. All right, so I just looked on the map, and this worked pretty well. Oh, I'm gonna fall there. Worked pretty well that we could do this all the way. I have some stairs there, but yeah, we get it into this new building. What is that? This is an assembler, but not a normal assembler. This is a fluid assembler, so we can basically put a lot of actual hard things, right, like the plates, glass, but we also have a fluid input, and then the output is in the back. Right, so 3 inputs, as I said. We have the plates, the electronics, and the glass. And on the other hand, we have the output. And then on top, as I said, right, just goes there straight. And yeah, we can expand if we want more in the future. Boom, 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 boom. At some point, maybe we arrive here, but at that point, I just need to delete this, but I can still place more, right? I won't be blocked. And yeah, the output is on the other side. This is making those energy cells. That was quite a lot. Let's recap quickly. We went all the way over here to take some alumite and some ignum, and we did 2 things. We crushed, first of all, we digged into the ground. We have an elevator, etc. to get to the ignum. Then we bring it back up and we crush it into powder. Then we take the alumite and we don't transform the alumite to the same thing we transformed in the previous episode. This is a new recipe for some gas. Then we also bring some water and we put all of this together and create something, I forgot its name. Then we bring it all the way over here into this pipe. And with 3 new things on top, this is how we start creating some energy cells. Now those energy cells are going to be pretty critical because they're going to be used for quite a lot of things. So if I go over here, you can see that they're gonna be used for the science pack tier 4. We're gonna need circuit board, energy cell, and thermalite sheet. Now the good thing is we've already automated all 3 of those things. We haven't brought the thermalite sheet to our bus, but we did automate everything else. So that is a great one there. Then this is also gonna be required. Where are you? Let's go back there. Over here. So yes, it is also going to be required here for solar panels. we have so far been making electricity by burning ignium. We will be able to also get solar panels. Now the game has a night and day cycle, and then you can actually even see on the top right, we have, or top left, and it is right now midnight. At 6 o'clock the sun is gonna start to come back, but the solar panels are only going to restart at 8 o'clock, and then they're gonna stop at some point, which means that if you really want to have all of your electricity based on solar, it is possible, but it will require batteries, and those batteries also take energy cells. And by the way, I can also connect batteries to my ignium production if I want, right? It's not just for solar, but obviously it makes a lot more sense for solar. And yeah, as I said, Keith 1 is going to be the science pack tier 4, but as you can see, many other productions over here too. We have also unlocked the, no we haven't actually done the jetpack, okay. So maybe we're going to do the jetpack. It is linked actually to a new production we haven't done either, which is low density ilmenite to transform into liquid fuel, to transform then into portable fuel with those barrels. So that is a completely new thing, which will be important, I think, for the jetpack and potentially for other elements. There was also the spaceship fuel over here. Didn't really touch this, and so many other research. I mean, I mentioned also in the last episode the construction materials over here. We could start buying this. There is quite a few things here too. So yeah, we're far from done with this one, ladies and gents, but it is getting more and more complex. I hope you can appreciate this. Do tell me in the comments below if you have any questions, further requests, and I hope to see you next time.